All right, so here we're in section 9.5 on basic differentiation properties. So we're going to look at the constant function rule, the power rule, the constant multiple property, the sum and difference properties, and applications. So symbols that are often used to represent derivatives are as follows. So if we start out with y equals f of x, then we can get f prime of x as a derivative. We can get y prime as a derivative. dy dx is a derivative, and d dx of f of x is also a derivative. So all those are different representations of a derivative of f at x. Now, if we have a derivative of any constant function, that's zero, as we'll see here in theorem one. So if we have y equals f of x and that's equal to c, some constant, then the derivative f prime of x, in this case, we're using our first representation, is equal to zero. And that means also that the y prime, which is the second one, is equal to zero, and dy dx is equal to zero, and then d dx of the f of x, or in this case of c, is also equal to zero. So that's kind of how it is. So when we write c prime is equal to zero, or this is equal to zero, we mean that the derivative written any direction is equal to zero if y is equal to c. So that's kind of a nice rule, is if we just have a constant, then our derivative is equal to zero. Now the graph of f of x is equal to c is a horizontal line with slope zero, as we can see here in this figure. So we would expect that the derivative is going to be equal to zero, okay? And so if you're taking the derivative of this, that's also going to be a horizontal line, which is going to have a slope of equal to zero. So that's kind of the reasoning behind this. So now what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to find the derivatives in each of these four cases. Well, let's look at these. So for A, well, here our function is just negative 24. Well, negative 24 is a constant, and so therefore f prime of x is going to be equal to what? Well, it's going to be 0. Similarly for 12, well, here we're taking the derivative of 12. Well, 12 is a constant, and so y prime is also equal to 0. And what we're kind of doing also is showing you all the different ways to write that derivative. C, well here, a negative square root of 7, that's a constant. And so dy dx is equal to 0. And here, our function is the pi, and so pi, or actually negative pi, well, that's a constant. And so d dx of negative pi is equal to 0. Okay, so all those cases we have 0 is going to be our derivative. All right, let's stop there and we'll come back with more.